Hello, welcome, welcome. Hi there. I'm going to attempt to finish this painting today because as much as it's been fun, I'm also tired of looking at it. Hi. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that that was a good tutorial for you and that you've been able to use it already. That's great. It wasn't like I think it was probably not one of my most aesthetic tutorials, but I hope that it was informative. So for what it's worth, I enjoyed making it. So we're gonna see if I can accomplish the final touches of the face and, you know, lighting for this, make any adjustments that are needed. One of them that I felt that I needed was to move over the face and the head, which I'm not looking forward to, but that's okay. That's all right. I guess what I'll do is I'm going to start by, not that way, separating the hat from the outfit. Hi everybody, welcome. I wish you'd work. There we go. Why did you cut off my hat, man? That's just rude. Hi everybody. Okay. Oh, the sun cannot make up its mind about today. Hello everybody. Hi, welcome, welcome. I've never made brushes before, and now I've made knits and books, so thank you. You're very welcome. Like I've said before, I'm not, I would definitely not consider myself like an expert on how to make brushes, but I've been studying them very heavily over the last couple months because, one, I want to make my own pieces more effective and efficient, especially for those details that really stump you and can eat up hours, like, hi, I'm from the United States. Hello. You know, those small details like you would see, like painting each book. I don't want to have to do that. That takes up way too much time. Or if I'm making like a cardigan sweater or a scarf, like those details are something that can easily be made through a brush. So I'm glad those have been helpful. Yes. I'm going, can I? Maybe. Will I? I'll try. Yes, that's what we're planning to work on today. I also hate hands. I think the hands for the project work well enough, but if you guys saw me struggle the other day, you would have laughed with me. It was painful. So right now I'm just making some adjustments overall on the piece. Let me try going like this. No, that's not what I wanted. 3 fingers. Register, please. Thank you. Okay, what am I not understanding about this? Why do you keep cutting this? What am I not getting? Is it because of, I bet it's because of the silly little line. Okay. Please, for the love of God, work. I did it. Magic. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, so here's where the sketch started. Let's see. So the sketch started like this, and this is where we're at now. It was a very vague sketch, and then I went from there. So going back to, this was the first thing I painted on the screen, which was her and her hair and outfit. And so it was just me getting down like the base shapes and colors. So now we can actually make it specific to the actual painting and the environment, as well as correct any of the issues that I didn't see in the beginning. So one of them being, I need to move the hat, the face, which I don't know what it's grabbing over there, but we're gonna pretend that's not happening. And then we're just gonna move her over. I do see that some of the, I'll fix that lighting as well. Let's turn it off so it's not distracting. So, okay, let me back up a step. I still want these, but I'm gonna move this up here so it's easier for me to see. Still want the hair back there, and we're gonna turn this off for now. And now we can grab the hair, the face and hat. And I just want to, her shoulder, like this shoulder, it's too close to this shoulder, too far away from that shoulder. This shoulder also needs to be more rounded. It's protruding too much that way. I think this, if we cover this up, I think this is appropriate. I could even probably afford to push a little bit further this way, but let's start here. Hi, Mary. Hello. You're in the zone. I love it. That's good. Anxiety. Oh, the cray zone. Okay, don't love that, but but welcome. Me too. Let's be cray together. Oh, thank you. I think if you get up close, they kind of look just like they look very silly. They don't look like hands to me, but that's okay. It's fine. We're fine. If we put back on the color, we're going to find that obviously some of this is shifted. So I'm going to make sure I'm on that layer, and then I'm going to use my selection tool and grab any of the areas that didn't really transfer with it. So right here needs to be pushed over. So now I can just drag this over to lay on top of the area like I did before. It does not have to be perfect, because anything that I miss or doesn't look right, I can just repaint. I try not to stress too much about, you know, keeping it all perfect. So good enough. And now we can deal with this. Question is, what do I want to do to fix it? Okay, I'm gonna start by I want to sculpt that into clay. You know, speaking of clay, I have clay that I plan on breaking out soon and starting to work with it, because I have a lot of jewelry pieces that I'd love to turn into something, just lying around from my hobbies, because I have several creative hobbies. So that's on the docket this week. Hopefully tomorrow or this evening. What was I doing, guys? Oh, I was fixing the shoulder. Okay, I'm going to duplicate the layer. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of duplicating layers you don't want to mess up. In case I F it up, I have the original right here. So I'm going to grab the problematic area, which is pretty much that, and see if I can move it around without disrupting everything else too much. So I'm going to select warp and move that over to connect. I'm going to move this in here. Okay, I think I just need to repaint a little bit of it. I think this is moved in too much, but that's an area I can repaint. So let's review. Old dress, new dress, old dress, new dress. So I can also undo some of the stuff I've done. Okay, so still grabbing on the area. I'm going to try one more time and see if I can get it to be a little bit closer to what I want. Not worried about this, we can fix that after. Any area that doesn't come over, we can just paint in. Same here. I'm really looking to just get the shape correct. I think if I back out, I think that looks better. So now I just gotta paint in the areas that were problematic. Don't do it, reverse psychology. Don't do it. I love that. Perfect. Wonderful. Oh gosh. So I'm actually going to duplicate this specific layer so that on the underside, what I can do is I'm going to grab the smudge tool and I'm going to put it back on the inking Inca brush that I've been using so that I can grab the colors and just smudge it underneath. This makes it so I don't have to repaint anything, and it keeps intact the actual layer on top. And see how much easier it is? I don't have to worry about grabbing too many colors or anything. It's a pretty quick technique. I'm gonna make this a little bit larger so I can spread a bit faster here. It it may not be perfect and we can make those touch-ups as we go, but it does get the job done. So I'm gonna keep working at this. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to combine them. And now any details that I feel like need actual touching up, I can do. So like here, I can, am I even on the right brush? I'm just like talking and not paying attention. Now I can touch up anything that I feel like needs attention. Unless, of course, we have a random spot that I don't know what it's doing. Okay. Like, why? Why are you doing this to me? You know how there are like some really cool, calm, collected artists out there who really know how to be zen and like, you know, just like presentable. If you're here, welcome to the shit show. This is me. I'm not that. I'd like to be, but I'm just not. I had a full-blown emotional meltdown trying to do those damn hands the other day. I mean, I think it wasn't inappropriate. I just feel like I was very sad I couldn't do it better. I hate seeing you shoulder all this responsibility. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Oh, gosh. I'm more relatable. That's good. I'm glad I'm relatable. That's because, yeah, this is... this is who I am, and there's no hiding it. I might be able to get away with it for a little while, but eventually you guys would see it. Okay, so I do think this looks better than it did before. Maybe not perfect, but that's fine. I do want to do something with her dress. I'm not really sure what though. I've kind of been thinking like, I'm gonna delete this now that we're done. Kind of been thinking like some sort of like, I don't know, collar? Is that, I don't even know what to call this. I can't tell if she looks like Wednesday? Oh my god, words. From the Addams Family, or like a nun, but that's fine. Brianna Elizabeth, don't get me started. Coming in hot with the dad jokes. He's good for those. Yes, he is. And I'm glad that you guys find him funny, because, you know, after 14 years, I don't. He needs the boost. Just kidding, babe, kind of. Any thoughts on her outfit? Right, Wendy, right? Thank you. Okay, in the meantime, while we're still deciding her outfit, I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna darken up this side a bit. And I don't know why I'm trying to adjust that. That's not gonna do anything. Okay, and then I'm just gonna grab a part of this one here, and I'm gonna use feather, and then I'm going to do this so it's got a little bit of a gradient happening. And then I can just smudge so it doesn't have such a, so it's more consistent with the style that we've been using throughout this piece. And then I can just grab a little bit of this, just add it in a little bit along here. it took me so much energy to come and do this, and it drives me insane because like I want to do this, but executive dysfunction is real. And I kept being like, oh, but it's hard. Why is it hard? Because it meant I had to go through a couple steps to get here. Worth it. But for some reason it felt really hard at the time. It's like making that phone call that only takes 3 minutes but took you 3 months to work up the courage to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm not in love with the bottom half of this skirt, so I'm going to work on it. How, you ask? No clue, but we're going to do something about it. Okay. Also, maybe, just maybe, I could also work on the face because I keep avoiding it. I didn't even realize I was doing it until just now, and I was like, I also still don't have a face. It's still not there. Also, if you want, like, so for example, I want to smudge this, but let's say you don't want that to accidentally happen where it's like bleeding elsewhere. One of the ways that I deal with this is I put the layer I'm working on Alpha Lock, so that way I can't smudge out of it, but I can smudge in it. Look at that shadowed neck. Glorious. Ooh, how do I feel about Lacey's spiderweb situation for the dress? I love that idea. Okay. I'm gonna do that on the skirt, yeah? And, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. It's hard for me to accept compliments, but I thank you for your kind words. Why does it have to be so hard to accept? Thank you. Okay, I am going to go up here onto this layer. I think the eyeballs are probably going to start with a gray. Do I even have... Okay, there we go. I was like, do I have any lines that could help me figure this out? Maybe. I do, however, need to take my sketch face and move it over. So I'm just going to grab that. Uniform. Bring that sketch face over. Boop. And let's make this not so in your face. There we go. Back to this. And I have no idea how I want to do the eyes, so let's figure that out. By drawing and not erasing. Once again, this is why we need community, because I wouldn't have thought of that for the dress, and I'm very excited. I might even add it to the sleeves as well. We'll get there, but I definitely want to have, like, her skirts have, like, yeah, like webbing for the design, and then I'd like to have some maybe, like, here. We'll get there. Look, I believe in us. Okay. And then I'm going to take this color down here, get a little nose in there, and I'll just do a line for now like this, figure out the mouth. Now the only thing is eyebrows. Let's get some in here. Is she going to be like worried, happy, excited eyebrows? I don't know. Okay, I kind of like this design, so erase this over here. And this is just getting the base shapes down, guys. Don't panic. I promise it's not gonna stay like that. I know you really want me. Oh, you know what I could do though? I think I could add a cool spider web here. I feel like it could catch some of the light. And also, you know, I feel like here would be for a nice spider web, like an actual one. That'd be kind of cute. Maybe like one up here too. Maybe. The idea of the jumping spider is growing on me, okay? Slowly but surely, I promise. I'm gonna move this eye over a little bit. It's really bugging me. And maybe angle it just a tiny bit. I don't know. That may or may not be the wrong decision, but we're in it now. Let's see. Apparently this color isn't darker. This is the one I'm thinking. All right, and then we're the cute little friendly spider guy. I know. It's growing on me, okay? All right, for now. Oh, I'm out of layers. Okay, I'm gonna combine these and these, and I'm just gonna trust that that's how I want it. Trusting the process. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Like, what kind of art do you guys do? Tell me about you guys. Let's see. I'm going to see about making her eyes like this color. I may change my mind. We will find out soon enough. I hate faces. This is why I'm gonna practice this next year. Okay. I believe this needs to be more focused on the bottom of the eye, so it looks more like she's looking down. Okay, and now we can take a very light gray and start doing some highlights. Start softening up some areas. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, very nice, very nice. Face your fears, babe. Thank you, Michael. Coming in hot again with those dad jokes. Do you guys see what I have to put up with? I'm just kidding. Kind of. All right, I'm going to try. She only looks a little deranged. It's fine. We're fine, I think. trying to see how I want to do this. I definitely want there to be like a glow, but how, you ask? I don't know. Let's see. Do I have the I think this is the palette I was sort of working with, because like I said, I don't plan ahead for these things. Let's get and we'll test out how this looks. I'm not sure it's gonna work. I'm just curious. I don't think that, I mean, the eyelashes, I could maybe do like one line like that, but I don't think doing more would actually help the piece, so keep it to a minimum. And then the nose. I love the suggestion. Yeah, so we had discussed putting like a black cat here, I think. And then I wanted to have a leaning broomstick here. That might all be too ambitious, but I will see, because I want a black cat. Like, I want the cat in here. I also want a black cat in real life as well. Just saying. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. We'll see. I definitely need to add some other skin tone variations. I think I also want to try and put in... Fine, I will combine those layers. I think I'd also like to put some of this in there, but let's maybe on... overlay maybe, and then smudge it out. Oh, thank you so much, Tiger. Thank you. Thank you. I started this channel a year ago, and I really didn't do very much. I think I had maybe 3 long videos and then a couple of shorts, like maybe 30 shorts at most. And I stepped away, and I just came back in July. So I know it's going to take me a while to like build up my account, but I feel very, very fortunate that I'm already at 3,000. Thank you very much for your kind words. Okay, I think overlay or hard line maybe. I don't know. I kind of like them both. I think it needs to be darker. also don't want it too dark. I like that, I guess. It's fine. No, I'll stick with overlay. I like overlay. Those hands did those hands did cause trauma, didn't they? It was a rough evening with those hands. Magical glow to her. Okay. Okay. I would agree. I do agree with that. Okay, let's see. Okay, I just have to figure out. This is pressure for me, so I apologize, guys. You're probably gonna see me have some more of like a little bit of a I don't want to call it like a tantrum, but just, you know, emotional time figuring this out. Okay. Smooth it out. And then I'll be able to use this, and then I can use the highlight. Definitely need to soften up her eyes and stuff. I'll do that next as well. Let's real quick do this part. Oh, you have nothing to be sorry about. You didn't do anything wrong. I think the softer edge will look nicer. Do I have any like fantasy book readers in here? Romantasy? Is anybody reading any good books right now? I really am like annoyed with the nose, but I just can't figure out what I want to do with it. It's fine. Maybe. Yes! Romantasy is amazing. What program do I use? It's called PROCREATE. So PROCREATE, here's the app. It's, to my knowledge, it's only compatible with Apple products, so like the iPad and the iPhone, I do know there are comparable programs that have similar features. I've not used them, so I can't speak to any right now, but I do know there's definitely plenty of people that watch my stuff that don't use Procreate, that just use other similar products and apps that are available and still can make the same things. Just slightly different interface and probably some options as well. Okay, I also need a, if you just look at that alone, do you guys see how funny this, that layer alone is special. That's funny. Okay, let's liven up these eyebrows. Like, I love a good brow, but like, let's, you know, we don't want like Bert and Ernie happening here. Like Oscar the Grouch brows, you know? And if those are your kind of eyebrows, they're beautiful, okay? I'm sorry. I should have been more thoughtful in how I was saying this. Those of you who do know me or have known me for a while, I actually have dysmorphia with my eyebrows. So I hate eyebrows. They're my least favorite trait, so that was more a projection of my personal feelings on eyebrows. Let's see, not that. There we go, and then that means now I can smooth this out as well. Or you know what? Let's just not have it for now, you know? I think that's also an option. It's too much. There we go. Right? The little faces. It's everything. Okay, I think that's looking somewhat better. Okay, I'm also gonna adjust her hair real quick. I am gonna come back to her face. I have to take a break because I hate it. And now I do that, and that's not how I want it to look. Okay, fine. Let's make you, so in order to avoid that, and I don't feel like having to redo a bunch of stuff, I'm going to do normal, and then I'm going to adjust the color manually like this. And that way when I combine the two layers, it doesn't look like that. There we go. I can bring this down to this layer. Okay. And what was I working on? There's something else I was gonna do. Oh, the hair. That's what it was. I'm gonna take off the highlights for a sec so that way they don't distract. And I'm going to grab the front part of her hair and maybe right behind. And I'm going to use warp so that I can just push this in a little bit. We don't want our hair being too much. Okay. And one more time. I still want it to have like a roundish, but I just don't want it to be like what it was before. And now I can turn back on my highlights. And you can see how much further out the hair went. So I'm gonna just grab the highlights from this area. If I was on the right layer, that is. Make sure you grab the right layer. That does help. And now I can use the brush to help move it to fit the new shape. There we go. And anything that I don't want, I can just, maybe not that, I can erase and repaint any of the blue. I didn't consider this part. Pretend, guys, that I know exactly what I'm doing at all times, okay? I am the perfect artist, and I never make any mistakes, and I always know what I'm doing. Always. I can't even say it seriously. Oh yeah, the struggle is real, isn't it? All right, I'm just blending out some of this so it's not so intense, because it was more making up some of the sleeve here. That's obviously not what it's doing. So there we go. I am also going back over here. I'm going to create a clipping mask so that way if I end up making something I really freaking don't like, we can take care of that. I'm going to add in, I'll use this brush to begin. I am going to add in some lighter parts so that we can get some, how did I do that? Okay, is this not, okay. I just got to figure out why this isn't working and everything will be fine. I'm just going to delete that layer because I don't need it. That's the one, the hand, okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to trust myself and do this. I'm going to trust the process. It's happening. Okay. I'm going to blend this in. I'm just kind of getting my spots where I want there to be a little bit more highlight. Maybe just a little bit back here in the ear. Maybe a little bit here as well. And then I'll do the hands later. Look at that makeup. She's getting such good contour. Ooh, gosh, where do I even be? Oh my gosh. Have you read the Beasts of the Briar fantasy? It's by Elizabeth Helen. They're like two sisters that wrote a book series together. So good. Oh my gosh, one of my top favorites over the last 3 years of reading. Victoria Evers is another one. I normally, and I'll be honest, I'm not very good at remembering names of books, let alone author names, but I like when you make an impression, I will remember. So Victoria Evers, a super underrated indie author that I feel like is just amazing is Bianca Scardoni. She's writing her 8th book. It's the final book, but it's an 8-book series. It's like a paranormal romance. So good. I loved the Zodiac Academy books. I read that earlier this year. So good. So good. I've read all like the maybe not all of them because I had to listen to some of them on audiobook because I try to get my books from the library, like the physical ones, and everything else I read on like KDP. But I've gotten my hands on, what is it, Glass of Thrones. I read that one. I read, Court of Thorns and Roses. I do have a lot of book recs. I am a big fan of romantasy. I love fantasy and I love romance, and when you put the two together, it's magic. No joke. Pun in that case was not intended, but yeah, it works. Oh gosh, I know there's more. I was just thinking this the other day. I'm like, I really need to make like a list of like best books I've read all year. The Victoria Evers was unexpectedly like one of those. I didn't think it was going to be like one that I would remember and love forever, but it's up there. Okay. What other books? There's some. I'm reading right now. The Veil. And I think it's like I think it's on book 2 right now. What was it? Prince of the Veil now is the second book. The first one was called The Veil. Of course, I can't remember who the author is, but it's like a fae. It seems like a fae romance. I'm trying to think. I mean, there is a world, so there is some like definitely like there's some good world building. It definitely has different like rules than a lot of the other fae fantasy books out there. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, there's another fae book series that I like. Damn it. I can't think. I have to like pull out my my app. Hello. Okay, I am screenshotting. Yeah, and I mean, I know everyone's preference, like some people like their books super, super spicy. Some people want less spice, more plot. So everyone's a little bit different. So it's always like interesting to like recommend books to people and find out like, oh, I don't like that because of this particular reason, or I really like that because of this. It's pretty funny like talking to people about what they end up liking differently about certain books and series than yourself, you know? I'm very excited. Does anybody write in here? Is anybody a writer as well as an artist? NaNoWriMo's coming up. Anybody participating in that? If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it's National Novel Writing Month. So for the month of November, you spend the days writing roughly, I think it's 1,667 words. So by the end of the month, you have, depending on the type of novel, technically you would have a decent part of your manuscript written. If you're like writing a more in-depth, I would say have maybe between 30 and 50% of your book written, depending. I don't post them, but I do have 1,800 word fic for maybe. Nice. I don't mind spice, but I do prefer it to be at the end after a lot of mining. World building is more important to me though. Yeah, so I really, obviously I like romance, but cause like that's like one of the, that's something that I wrote, but I very much like, if you're gonna have a spicy scene, I need it to drive the plot, okay? I need there to be a purpose and a reason. And I'm very much like, I want it to be a slow burn. I want them to pine, you know? So I feel that, I definitely do. However, I will say, I get a little like frustrated when I get to the end of a book and I'm like, I have been dying and waiting to know what's gonna happen between these two, and that's it? I'm like, what the hell? I thought they really liked each other. Okay, fine. I see that you are upset with me. Okay, I definitely need to fix this ear. I'm like hating the ear. It's fine. It's cool. I do write. Yes, I completed my first novel a couple, let's see, back in April, and I've handed it out to some alpha readers for review. I've gotten back some good feedback, so I've been working on revising my book for that, or from that. And I've started writing book 2 and a couple scenes for part 3 just because I know they're going to happen so that I can write them. But I'm looking forward to NaNoWriMo because there's some scenes that I still need to rewrite or add to my first book now that I've gotten some feedback. So it's going to be a really good opportunity to to write, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been writing for many years. I started after my grandmother passed away. My counselor suggested that I journal about it, and I couldn't. It just was too hard. So I started just writing, just creative writing around my feelings, and started just putting my characters through all of my trauma instead. And so that ended up being helpful. I'm hating this face so much. Dun 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 dun. Okay, let's take some of this down. But it's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out sooner or later. One day. One day I'll like this. No, she doesn't have a beard, okay? Oh, thank you, thank you. Sure. A little bit of a trigger warning for people. So I've struggled with depression off and on throughout my life, and I've definitely had like ideation. Never planned, never attempted, but just lots of like, it'd be okay if I went to sleep for a really long time kind of thoughts. And one day, about 2 years ago, I had like an errant thought of that, and the thought that came, sorry, I'm trying to explain where my thought came from. So from that came this thought of, man, that would suck if you didn't want to be here, and then you were and you couldn't die. Like, that would suck. And then I was like, oh my God, what if I wrote a character? Like, all of a sudden I was like, I can write about this. So I was like, what if I have a character that doesn't want to be here anymore? And then, because I write fantasy, I was like, they can be turned into some sort of fantasy type creature that can't be killed, or not easily. So I ended up going with vampire just because who doesn't love a good vampire? And so the premise is there's a girl, some stuff happens to her. She ends up not wanting to exist anymore. So she attempts, and she ends up getting accidentally saved. And she ends up getting really mad about it because she's like, what the hell? And nobody will tell her what kills a vampire. So she's just sort of stuck, which forces her to like learn to have to deal with the fact that she can't leave, which in a sense makes her sort of confront and face all the things that she didn't want to before. So she ends up learning to want to live by the end of the book, as well as more. It's like, well, it sounds heavy. Most of the book is actually written with humor. So I would say it's actually a difficult book to feel depressed and down with. There's like, I definitely like offset as much as I can with humor, because I just feel like I don't want someone to like feel worse by reading my book. I just want I want people to know they're not alone, and that they can relate to the character, but hopefully they can also relate to learning to move through the pain to find happiness on the other side. I am not enjoying this face at all. Maybe she needs some blush. And so yeah, there's let's see, there's a love interest. There's definitely a whole fantasy world involved. so hard to like describe in real time when someone's like, can you tell me about your book? I'm like, fuck if I know. I'm too invested in it. I need to figure out how to succinctly say what it's about. Sorry for my swearing. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little nervous. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope people will enjoy it, those who read. Even if it's like 5 people that read it, that'd be great. I'd be so stoked. Let me rephrase. If 5 people read it and somewhat enjoyed it, I'd be stoked. If they hated it, I'd be sad. Not because necessarily that it would mean they didn't like my book, but because they probably would regret reading it, and then I'd feel bad that I wasted their time. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I really wish I didn't waste your time. Okay, I'm gonna step away from the face for a little bit. I think similar to the hands, I need to step away before I ruin it. And I say that, and I'm like, you know what? She could afford to have some lighter colors in her eyebrows. Yeah. So anyways, I love writing. Been writing for longer than I've been painting digitally, which is insane. And I have one book probably about halfway written, and then I have this book complete, like a different series. Then I have this series that I've been working on. What do I want to do? Probably back to this one. And then I do have another series idea outlined as well. So I'm hoping that I will, you know, create more time to write these over the next couple years in between doing my art. Hello. I don't know that you're late. I mean, I really haven't done much. The only thing I've been doing aside from talking is trying to figure out a face. And, you know, it's there. It is there. It most certainly is there. I don't know if I like it, but it is there. Okay, so now let's work on the dress. Hopefully I can figure out the dress. Okay. Duplicate in case I mess it up. I am going to get rid of the skirt part here. Or maybe instead of getting rid of it, I'm going to change its color to a lighter gray because I want to be able to draw almost like black lace spider webs coming down. So I'll just leave it at this gray for now. We'll see what happens with it. Oh, thank you so much. I think her eyes are a little bit too much. I do think I have to figure that out. I don't think the coloring's quite right, but I'm not very practiced at faces, and I've also just been staring at it too long, and that's usually the point at which I start hating something or struggle to see what may or may need some adjustments. So I think stepping away is probably just the right thing for me right now before I do something stupid. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and then that. Grab this. Okay. And then to help make this more realistic, we definitely want to make sure we're creating some movement and like ripples, because right now it's just kind of like straight. And then I will have to adjust these parts to that. And in fact, what I might do is I'm going to use the smudge tool, make sure I'm back on the Inca brush, and I'm going to use that to smudge some of this down. Keep some texture, but also get some movement. You didn't expect it to be very cute. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Well, hi there. Welcome. I did think about making it a little creepier, but my initial vision was cute. So that's what I went with. The good thing is I can always paint over it if I want to try something else. Okay, so we've at least got the skirts kind of started. I'm going to duplicate it so that way it makes some of this blend a bit better. All right. This is probably from this, so now I can smudge this out as well. Okay. Sounds good. No pressure to be here. I know we all got different things going on. Come when you can, leave when you need to, no problems. All right, use like this color. I'm gonna probably too early preemptively put some colors on the edges here, but it just helps me visualize how I want it to look, even if that's probably like the last detail that I need to add. It's fine. All right, and now we're gonna see if I can actually do a design. I will do this brush. She could be a menace, that's true. That is true. Okay, I'm gonna try doing, this might seem a little bit strange, but I'm gonna make a couple of dots to signal to me they're the center of a spider web, so that I can kind of branch them all together. So let's see, I might have like a line connecting there, maybe one to there. This might take a little bit of trial and error, but it's gonna be fine, I'm sure. And I might have to, even though I love this texture, I might go back to the airbrush and just bring that, maybe, yeah, we'll see. Does that work? And I will definitely be adding in shading and stuff in the background, but for now I'm just going to, I'm just going to paint focus on the web, and then we can worry about the painting underneath, which is why I have it on a separate layer anyway, so that way if I need to make adjustments underneath on the skirt, I can. Okay. I don't know if you guys ever get this experience, but when I watch people do art, like in my head, I'm like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna do this next. And then they move in a completely opposite direction on the canvas. And I'm like, why are you going there? That's not where we agreed to go. Am I the only one that gets that way? Like, I'm like, I have a hard time letting go of control. I'm like, why are we hanging on this side? I want to be over on the other side of the canvas. Okay, so then if I were to like say, maybe connect these, maybe, because I know I want this one to like, well, that would be, I could do that. There we go. And then that, it doesn't have to be a perfect pattern. I'm just going to make it up as I go. Fantastic. Okay, and then I can go like this, and I can, if I want a particular one to stand out, I can always just do a darker line like that. But for now, I'm going to go like this. I'm trying not to get too hung up on how perfectly I do it, because obviously at a distance, no one's going to see if I do some of the brush strokes not perfectly, but yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I think it depends. I think it just depends what I'm watching. Because I mean, I can definitely watch a tutorial by another artist and just be like in the zone of like, yeah, that's cool. But like, I think sometimes when I'm watching someone like that's actually live, I might see them start to go this way. I'm like, ooh, we're going over here. And they're like, oh no, we're actually drawing over here. I'm like, what? My brain told me we were going that direction. And now I'm unprepared for this change. Maybe that's the neurospicy in me. Can you guys hear my child downstairs? He's being silly. All right, here we go. See how this looks. Okay, I like the concept. I'm worried it's not going to be dark enough. So let's see if duplicating will help some. Okay, I think that helps make it easier to see. One more time for fun. Let me see if there's a better brush I can use for this. Probably could use monoline, but I am going to, so this is monoline. I am going to turn up the taper. That's the word I'm looking for. Yay for a taper. Done. Okay, so that'll make clearer lines that and they're bold, so I don't have to worry about repainting or duplicating anything. I might make it a bit smaller though. so much. The details of the dress is scary. Just the face is cute. Oh, that's funny. She takes her job very seriously, okay? She might look innocent, but she takes it very seriously. Oh, that's so funny. Having apparently continuity issues with my character in the environment. That's fine. And then I will do this part here. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for joining the live. Hi guys, I'm sorry. If you are new here, hi, my name is Bree. I am a digital artist. I paint digitally. I'm also a traditional artist. I do tend to do digital though. I have made a couple tutorials with traditional, but just this is kind of my home base. I started traditional and eventually moved into digital about 15 years ago, and I love it. So I always return to it. Let's see. I am also a writer, hopefully an author, like published author eventually, soon enough. And I have many, 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 many hobbies because I can't stick to one creative adventure. I must always adopt more. My newest fixation will likely be clay. So I will be taking up clay. I did clay in college, but that was a very long time ago. So I'm going to try again. It's very strange when you get old enough to be like, yeah, that was a really long time ago. To get old. Not that I actually think I'm old, but I remember when I used to think my age was old. Without unsafely putting your age in, don't unsafely do this. Can you put in the chat, if you're so inclined, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever you would like, you could just put 20 with an S on the end, so that way you're not giving your specific age away. If you don't feel comfortable, no problem. I am in my 30s. I'm always interested by like what demographic is drawn to spending time doing art of the digital nature. '30s, almost 30s, love it. Love it. Hi guys. Look at us go. I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like my 30s are way better than my 20s. My 20s were not ideal. They sucked. I'm so glad to be out of it. 30s crew. I don't know. I like there's a couple different things. I just feel like one, like now I just kind of understand my life and life a little bit better. Not to say I don't have a lot more to learn. Of course I do. I just feel like, yeah, I definitely have reached the point of I don't give a crap what 99.9% of people think about me. That's very relieving. I love that feeling. It's really nice to just be like, oh, you don't like me, that's okay. Oh no, I'm devastated. My poor feelings. Can't handle that. I definitely remember not being able to handle that when I was younger. Trauma. I feel like I got much more confident. Yes, there's so much more confidence at 30. 20 was so hard. Gen Z and her late 20s here, but sometimes I feel 80 because I love doing old lady things. I love this. I love that so much. I've always been an old lady at heart. I'm love like I love sewing, crocheting, knitting. I really want to get into embroidery. That's another thing on my list. Like, oh, like yeah, I feel this. My grandma raised me, so like those are definitely things I remember learning to like crochet and knit, and I enjoyed that. So I feel you. Like my growing up, my favorite shows, soap operas, Days of Our Lives. What is it? Bold and the Beautiful? Those were good times. We never got into General Hospital. That just wasn't our thing. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I definitely want to put some actual spider webs. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, absolutely. Because I also think it'd be cool if I could get to have some kind of like wispies, like not, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see if I can pull it off. Sometimes I surprise myself with unknown skills, and then sometimes I'm really confident that I can do something and I quickly am humbled. So we'll find out. And the best is when it's happening live, when you have an audience. My chair agrees. I used to crochet and do needlework when I was younger, and I miss it so much, right? What do you think about the dress going back to black and the web being gray or like? I love that. I love that. 100%. I will give it a try. Let me finish painting this so that I can invert everything. But yes, I like that idea. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I'm really disappointed in myself. I went grocery shopping this morning and I got donuts. And I ate both my donuts this morning instead of saving one for later. In my defense, I do have a very cute 5-year-old who always eats my food if I don't eat it first. So I was trying to make sure I got to eat both my donuts, but now I'm a little bit sad that I ate them so fast because there was a chance he wouldn't see the donuts and I got to eat it later in the day. It's fine. And for the record, I bought him his own donuts. He'd steal mine as well. And I don't care what you say, when he gives me those eyeballs, it's so hard to say no. I was still thinking though, like having one either up here or like coming down here. So both are great options because I wanted one over here too. And a cat. There's a lot of things that I want. I don't know if I can make them all happen though. We'll see. Okay, so back to the black. I'd have to paint down, but that's fine. So let's real quick though. No. You know what? Sorry. Let me duplicate this. I'm just going to do that. Duplicate this. And I'm going to invert. There it is. And then I'm going to take that away for a sec. And then, no. Then do this. Too much. Too much. Hold down. Slide. There we go. And now I will make it dark again. Close enough. And now we shall put this on top. And now we need, nope, not that. We need this to be normal. Just seeing if any of these blending modes look good. That one kind of looks nice. And if I doubled it up, does it do anything? No, because this hates me. Okay, let me put this here, combine, duplicate. If I took it down just a smidge, that kind of looks good. So that's one option. Oh, I could have just done that. This is why you need to make sure you test it all out first. Okay. What do you guys think? Do I do the lighter design or do I do this design? And okay, there's that. This is the ghost. Okay, I'm sorry, give me one sec. I'm trying to see. Okay, so that's for the window. Okay, what if I bring this down? Okay. Am I able to get away with doing that? Kinda. I'm gonna delete that. There we go. Okay, so we like the dark dress better. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm going to, I think, do some sort of adjustments to the sleeves of the dress with this design in mind. Let's see if I can pull it off. I'm just going to delete all these because we don't need them now. And let's see, grab my white. Still using the monoline. And we'll go up to here on a new layer. And let's see, definitely needs to be, okay, for starters, I want it on soft light. And I need this much smaller. Okay. Bear with me as I figure this out. Okay, for some reason that doesn't show up there. Cool, cool. It's probably the type of... This may not work, and that's fine. Okay. What to do with my life? Right, this doesn't work. Oh, it works a little bit there. Okay, we'll do it. Okay, I think at least this would be a good addition. My only other thought is I can duplicate this, bring it up here, put it in front of the hat, make it a clipping mask, and then I can have that design on the hat as well. Maybe just a little bit darker. Maybe even a little bit darker. What do you guys think? While I wait for feedback, I'm going to see if I'm capable of painting. Clear this. And where is this extra? Okay, it's right there. That's what it was. And I'm going to grab the gray, and I'm going to grab Inca. Let's see if I'm capable of creating some spooky-ish cobwebs. Okay, so the hat feels a bit overwhelming. Someone says they love it. I could use one more to help me to make a deciding decision. All right, let's see what this looks like when I smudge, smudge, smudge. All right, well, we've at least decided on this part, so no on the part but the hat. I could see, does making this dress darker help, hurt? I think it helps. I think it helps. Which means the hat probably needs to be darker too. But that also means I'll be able to use more light for highlight so she stands out a little better. I also haven't finished her hair, and I'm still working on this mysterious part up here. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm already figuring out what's wrong. Okay, hold on. One, gravity. So they'd be swooping this way. Because if they were like old, they would be sagging like that. I don't know if I like this, but it's whatevs. There's a lot of things about this that are just driving me insane. It's cool. It's fine. I forgot to put this on Do Not Disturb. My apologies. Give me 1 second. So the reason why part of the dress doesn't have the spider web is one, because it's in shadow, and it's the type of filter that I'm using, like or blending. So if I were to use normal, you can see it throughout, right? But when I go through, like for example, color dodge, it's only showing the design where there is color. So essentially anything that's not black. So all of this is gray or some other color, and that's why it looks like it's breaking up like that. So it just depends like what filter you're using. A filter, it's not a filter, it's a blending mode. My apologies. Okay. Let's make the opacity on this a little bit less for now. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. I hate it. No, I'm not gonna leave it. I hate it. We're deleting that. No. Like, no. Okay. Oh, I was gonna work on her hair. That's what it was. I was like, I know there's something I need to do. I'm getting to the point with this project though where like really it's like it's done. You know, I need to work more on certain areas, but it's done. Anything else we're doing at this point is like just like let's add it for funsies, you know? Let's see, how does that work? Not great. And I wanted to add a cat, so let me do a cat silhouette real quick. Let me just decide where I'm gonna put it. Maybe I'll put it on this layer so that way I can easily erase the cat if I need to. I'm going to make the cat very light gray to begin, so I have the silhouette, then I'm going to make it black. I just need to be able to see it on this very dark background. And it's actually easier to see in the camera up here than it is in real life. It's hard for me to see from my angle because I have a bunch of different lights to help it be easier for you guys to see, but it ends up putting a glare for me and making it a little harder to see what's happening. Which is fine, by the way. I'm not trying to blame you guys. I'm just the way I phrased that, I was like, that sounds like I'm blaming them. No. I just am trying to accommodate so you guys can actually see what's happening. All right, maybe like cat whiskers. then maybe one like there, fill in what I can this way. Okay. And then erase here. And make the head a little bit smaller. Okay, that's probably good. So now I just want to make sure, because I have it on the same layer as the magic potion cauldron. That's just because we're running out of layers. So when I need to have multiple things on a layer, I just make sure that they're separated. So this cat's very far away from that. So in case I ever need to grab it and move it around, I don't have to worry about it interfering with the other object on that layer. You just realize she's so tiny she has to stand on books, right? So now that I have her, not her, sorry, well, I guess the cat's a her in my mind. I had a black cat, and her name was Dragon, and I loved her, and she was amazing. And she was sassy. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to grab this because I don't want it to grab the magic potion brewing in the cauldron. I'm going to adjustments, and I'm just gonna make it dark, which I know. I'm gonna do it probably really dark gray to begin, and then I'll put black in and highlight so she stands out. So we'll do that. Okay. Let's get her placed where I want and at the right size. So probably a little bit smaller. I think right here is probably a good spot. I think so. Okay. No. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go up to my highlighting layer. I'm going to grab this color, which we know is the color we've been using for the firelight to shine on things. So I'm going to take this first and just highlight parts of the cat that I want to have stand out. I can even make up lines that don't even exist, like the fur. Make some things stand out a bit. And then I can go like this on the whiskers. I could do some back here. I'm not going to overdo it though, because really with the whiskers that would show over here. There would also be some like eyebrow whiskers, so I'm going to put some up here too. And I can erase what I feel isn't serving, so just want to make sure I don't have too many lines in the wrong spots. Okay, and then this. Okay, so that's probably good enough. I could create like another sort of glow on the back side, probably something with like the teal to sort of tie it all in, but first what we want to do is we want to go to the cat, which I put on this layer, which is hard to see now, but I'm going to grab the back side of her like this. I'm going to use feather, and then I'm going to darken the back side of her. And now I can use the smudge tool to sort of just get a shape out of it a little bit. so it's not so smoothed out. Okay, and then for the back side, I'm just gonna go and use like a darker teal, and that might change by the end, but that's what I think will look best back here, just to sort of help create some sort of backlighting for the cat. And I'm gonna smooth it out so it's much more gentle and very subtle. Okay, so now we have our cat there as well. And I can still make the cat a little bit darker if I want. So I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna grab all of the cat and then just bring it down slowly. So there's still, this is a little bit lighter, it's still hard to see, but then the rest. And also, just a little bit here on the underbelly would help. There we go. I might even get just a little bit of yellow glow on this backside. Okay. Yay, we got a cat there. Okay. Oh, I also wanted to do, okay. My life. The things I wish I remembered. So I'm going to attempt to make candles floating in the air up here. However, I have to repaint it, so I'm going to erase some of this. I'm going to simplify them just a smidge as well. And I am happy to repaint the back. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know if we'll keep this, but it was suggested, and I did like the idea of a couple different floating candles throughout the ceiling area. And so I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. But I do want them, I'm going to make them smaller and thinner. All right, and, nope, sorry, not that. Just making sure I've got everything. Still saying I need to erase whatever's up here, I don't know. Better. Okay. So I'm gonna use freeform. I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. I'm gonna use distort as well to sort of just correct some of the weirded slant. And I also need to bring this up towards the front. Here we go. And I still might make these smaller, but let me just get them sort of situated So have some sort of bleeding off of the top here. Okay, fine. You're mad at me. I get it. Okay. All right, so as I've said before, as long as I'm keeping the individual, like they can all be on one layer so long as they're in, like, not overlapping. So it being independent from this one over here allows me to be able to go copy and paste. So now I can just move around that extra piece now more easily. Let's see, put that there. Maybe put another one up over here though. Maybe hardly showing. There we go. She is almost done. I'm still not thrilled with the face. And I do want to, like, I want to work on some of the books and some of the coloring, but yes, overall this is basically done. This is basically done. It's something that I think I should probably step away from for, like, I don't know, 3 to 5 years and then come back to it because I'm so tired of looking at it. But I do think it's gone well. I think that one was unnecessary. I'm just gonna stick with this, I think. All right, make sure they're all on one layer. And now we can go into how we're going to make it glow. So one, I can just do something like that to help. Basically, all I did was duplicate this layer. And so here's the candles, and then I just blurred the bottom layer so it's like this. And I duplicated it so the lighting was brighter. I'm going to try out some different blending modes and see if any of the other ones help make it a little bit, I don't know, exciting. I think I'll just go with add, and I can also, oh, don't do that. I can also try out see if there's any other colors. I think I either want to do yellow or I want to do like a teal. I think the yellow glows kind of nice, or like this, it's a little bit on the pinker side, but it's like an orangey, corally pink. Watching this is so handy to learning Procreate tips. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I try to use a variety so that way people can see the different, because there's a lot of different ways to do all the things that I've done. So I try to change up how I approach each thing so people can get a feel for just different ways, because there's definitely preferences of like what works best for you in your own methods. My husband just let me know that he was taking our youngest to the store. Okay, and you can see now through all of this loveliness that I've missed some spots, right? So thankfully all I have to do, because now this is highlighting it for me, all I have to do is just go to this and I can just erase what I don't need. I was like, I know there's more. Just hard to see it. All right. That's fine. That's the original. Get rid of these real quick. Okay. And then what's fun is I can also go in and still adjust more lighting, because now this is going to interact with different parts of the environment as well. And you guys know how much I love light. And then also to interact with the books as well. So that's another area that I could introduce some more highlights and shadows to, which would be fun. I am, however, going to keep it simple. Nothing too intricate. Okay, there we are. I think that this looks so cool. I love that you guys came up with the suggestion of putting candles outside of the mirror as well. It's very fun. It like adds to the whole environment. Okay. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna group. I'm going to duplicate. No, it's not gonna let me because I don't know enough frickin'. Okay. Remind me what you are. What are you? Okay, you're the background. I can get away with combining you guys. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, hat and hands can go together. Okay. Now will you let me duplicate? No, still no. Okay, hair and feet. Now, thank you. Flatten. Okay, good. Now I can get rid of that. Okay, now I have extra layers. And I'm gonna go to this one. I'm gonna keep it kind of like in this area. And maybe a little bit catches on the top of these books. Definitely would catch along here on the side of the bookshelf. Here. And along here. And there would definitely be just a little bit along the tops here. Differentiating because of light from the cauldron. Yes, that's a good idea. I didn't know you can merge into one layer by pinching the layers together. You can, yes. That's definitely one way to do it. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. You can also group them and then flatten it. That's another way to do it. There's a lot of different ways depending on what you're trying to achieve, but yes. And so this one, I agree. Let me work on that one sec. Excellent points made. I know I said that, it sounds so sarcastic, but I really mean it. Like, wow, I sound like an ass, but I mean it. Okay. There we go. And maybe a little bit along the top here now. Here as well. Here. Oh, I love adding light. It's so fun. So let's grab this one and let's see if we can like change the color a touch. Okay, so I feel like this could work. I just need to do a couple things different. So I'm going to select this flame, and then I'm going to select invert. Actually, sorry. I need to make it on its own layer first. Okay, that's fine. Delete, I don't need those. I'm not worried about it. Just, yes, erase. I did not mean to grab them. Jeez. Okay. Really? I don't have the energy or time for those shenanigans. Did I do it yet? Okay, thank God. All right. So I'm just going to focus on this one right now. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this part specifically, invert so that it preserves the flame, but so that I can change the colors around it. Now, I might not even have to do that. I could just make it more shadowed. I just kind of wanted to see what it would look like with that interaction. No, I hate it. I hate it. Ignore. I didn't do it. You guys saw nothing. Okay, so this one we'll want to make just a touch darker. Hopefully I can get away with doing that without maybe I can grab just this but not the glow and make that darker. All right, what do we think? Does that look a little bit better? And maybe just soften this up a tiny bit. Like chill, you know, relax. It's okay, candle. You don't have to be aggressive. Okay, okay, good. And what else was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing lighting. Sorry. Maybe just a little bit more over here. Maybe just a tiny bit here. Definitely more on this side. All right. Maybe some right here. Just like a little gentle glow. And okay, now I'm gonna do her hair. And then I'm gonna call it a night. And just like sit on it, you know, just like see how we feel about it. Let's try. Okay, I'll go back to this layer. I'm gonna do no, won't do a clipping mask, but Let me grab some of this orange and make it a little more vibrant. And I'm going into Organic Twig. Twig is this brush that does that. I like it for hair because when you go to smudge using the twig tool again, I think it makes really nice suggestion of hair. So that's usually what I use personally to make textured hair like this. Okay, let's put some warmth into here. The hat. Let's fix the hat. There we go. Back to the hair. No? No. Okay, I'm gonna do just a little bit dark in here. And I'm gonna go over here and all right. Oh, thank you. I've worked on this for many hours because I've been doing this on a live. And typically during lives, I go a little bit slower. I explain what I'm doing. I try out a bunch of things that like I normally wouldn't do. I take suggestions on what people think. So these tend to be like 4 times longer than what a typical piece might take me. I am curious. Let's look. Preferences? No. It's been a while since I've checked this. Canvas information. There we go. Statistics. So it says right now, track time, 16 hours and 59 minutes. So this has taken me 17 hours. Now, do I actually think this would normally take me 17 hours? No. I'd be able to turn this into a tutorial that probably takes you anywhere between like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But you know, when I come live, I'm hanging out, I'm talking, I'm trying out things versus when I do like a tutorial and show you guys how to do it. At that point, I've tried all the stuff out. I've figured out what the color palette is, right? I have the methods, techniques, the composition, all of it figured out. So do not get discouraged if you hear, wow, that took you 17 hours when really, no, like this normally would not take me a full 17 hours to paint. I would say if I was by myself, it would take, if I was like in the zone, probably like 3 to 4 hours. But everyone's a little bit different. It also depends how much, you know, attention to detail you want to put. So, all right, I'm gonna put just a little bit of like teal, I think, in her hair as well. I'm gonna put it on its own layer though, just in case I really hate it. Add, there it is. And then I'm gonna call it a night. Don't worry, it won't stay like that. Or will it stay like that? I'm just seeing how much do I actually want to put in there. Okay, so I like the idea, I just don't like the execution on this side. That's fine. Okay, so it'd probably get somewhere like right there, maybe a little bit here and there on the edges. Okay, and right here, I would probably want to make it a little bit more blue and a little bit darker, maybe more saturated but darker. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for subbing. Very much appreciate your support. Thank you. And I hate this, so we're gonna get rid of that. It's fine. We're fine. I think the only other thing now, there's always more I could be doing. There's always more. I want to push the light a little bit more on the front here of this dress. And then there we go. Okay, I think this is a good spot for me to stop for the evening. I am tempted, of course, to always paint more, but I should stop while I'm ahead, because that was a horrible decision. Maybe do just this part here, and then I'll stop. Okay, all right. I'm stopping, I swear. Okay. Is she done? Almost. Like 95% of the way there. There's still some stuff that I need like an eye break and then I'll come back to it. But thank you all so much for spending time with me this lovely evening, maybe approaching morning for you. Thank you from wherever you are in the world. If you have not subbed, please consider doing so, but no pressure, I get you. Yeah, and feel free to follow me on my other social media platforms. I do sometimes go live on the TikTok app, the Clock app. Over there I post both about my art, but also about my writing, and I love books, so yay for book talk. And thank you. And yeah, okay, y'all take care of yourself. Make sure you meet your basic needs. Drink water, eat food, get rest, take your meds if you have any, and do one nice thing for yourself because you deserve it. And I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Bye, guys.